Well, we are now into the month of May, and when it comes to Epic Universe, and I guess in terms of this park, you could say things are starting to get real as it is opening on May 22nd, and there are still some questions out there about a lot of aspects of this park that have not yet been answered. One of those being, is there going to be a nighttime fireworks show and some other elements? But one thing that I've wondered about, given that we are going to be there on opening day, is there going to be some sort of opening day ceremony? And it seems that we do have some information on that, about some permits that have been filed and potential celebration things going on the opening day for Epic Universe. So we have an article here from Orlando Park Stop that we're going to read through and get some thoughts on here. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. It says Epic Universe grand opening permit shows drones, pyro, today's show operations, and celebrities are going to be at the opening, it seems. Says Universal Epic Universe is in guest previews now, but is still scheduled to have its official grand opening on May 22nd, 2025. To prepare for this special occasion, Universal Orlando has filed permits with Orange County to set up a Backstage base of operations. The permit, which was posted publicly on the county's Fast Track website, includes images showing where this event command center will be located within the theme park. It also hints of pyro and drones that may be used as part of the grand opening celebration. Says the main permit image below shows the locations for several tents, trailers, and a long fence, all related to the Backstage operations during the media coverage of the new theme park's grand opening. The base of operations is being set up in an expansion plot that is near Wizarding World of Harry Potter area. Sections of the Backstage area include a section of trailers for talent, a Today Show home base, Telemundo home base, and a media center with VIP holding. Behind the Today Show home base area, there are 3 tents designed for gear unloading, food and beverage, and production. And according to documents attached to the permit, these tents will be 30 feet by 30 feet and will be set up by the company Arena Americas. It says an illustration of how the dining tent will appear is also included in the documentation, and this image says the tent will be installed by May 2nd. So that is tomorrow as of this recording. While the tents may be present nearly the entire month of May, the celebrity trailers are listed as only being on site from May 18th through May 22nd. And there are 10 trailers shown in the permit listed as talent 1 through 10. It says the media center, which is misspelled on the document's map image, is scheduled to be present from May 17th to May 22nd, and it is 20,000 square feet. Location is listed as having media and VIP holding. It says if you've been inside of Epic Universe already, you may have seen a large tent structure located near Stardust Racers. This semi-permanent structure will be used for the media center during grand opening events, but was set up prior and is permitted separately. This large tent at the end of the pathway near Stardust Racers is listed in permits as for training and special events. It is large and constructed similarly as the World Showplace Pavilion at Epcot. The media event ahead of the grand opening may be its first official use, but it will be utilized for team member training when it's not being used for events like this. It says one interesting aspect of the larger permit location can be found on the bottom right of the document. The legend for this image describes outlines for Pyro launch and Fallout Zone and a drone zone. I like the name drone zone in general, but pyros and drones, which would lead me to believe that's something at night. I mean, typically with drones, you don't do that during the day too much. I mean, you can. Obviously, you have the dragons in Isle of Berk. When you're talking nighttime entertainment, a lot of times you're talking about, drones, doing some sort of drone show like Sensational, like some of the other drone shows that we've seen. And pyros can be during the day, but typically, again, that might lead maybe something at nighttime, perhaps. It says, looking closely at the full map image, we can see the corner of these outlines for fireworks and drones. They appear to be wrapping roughly around the Universal Helios Grand Hotel site at the back of Epic Universe, with the pyro fallout reaching into the Wizarding World area, which is where we've assumed the fireworks would be shot off from, like when and if they're going to do a nightly fireworks show. That peninsula behind Helios is the area in which they at least have tested some of these fireworks before, and that would be the area or around there that you would assume stuff like this would go on. It should also be noted that the on-site office for TAIT can be spotted on the permit image. This company specializes in large media integration for concerts and large-scale events. They also applied many of the large LED screens in use throughout Epic Universe attractions. The official grand opening of Epic Universe will be on May 22nd, but the park will be closed for public access on May 20th and May 21st. These days will be for media access only, and it is expected that any large-scale grand opening displays, including fireworks, may only take place during this non-guest period. Universal Orlando has not yet announced any nighttime shows or fireworks spectaculars for Epic Universe during guest hours. They have been testing small fountain shows in the Cosmos Fountain in the middle of the park, which has been happening randomly during guest previews. Whether or not the park will be open with an actual scheduled nighttime show remains a mystery. It says even though Universal Orlando has not yet confirmed that there will be any sort of opening ceremony for guests on May 22nd, permits certainly show that there will be a flurry of activity in the days leading up to that date. So that is still a question out there about a nighttime show. I've heard some people speculate that they're not going to do one in the opening phase because they're still trying to, do park operations and they don't know how the guest flow could be. I think a lot of people will come to expect that to be a nighttime show, but I suppose if it's just for the first couple of weeks, perhaps they don't do one. I don't think that would be a big deal, but I do think going forward for this park, a nightly fireworks show, a nighttime show is going to be something that is going to be something people expect and will really help set this park apart. And that is also something Universal has never really had. They never really have had a staple nighttime fireworks show, like Disney has had with Happily Ever After. And, they have one at Epcot as well. But most people point to Happily Ever After show being really the headlining fireworks show or any fireworks show that happens in Magic Kingdom. I think with Epic Universe, they're going to want to do the same thing with this, but much grander. Sensational is currently going on at Universal Studios Park there, which is a great show. I really do enjoy it. It's kind of much more like Fantasmic with drones and some fireworks there, but I think it's a great show, but hopefully they do something pretty big and grand with Epic Universe with that. Now, and when it comes to an opening day ceremony, they could do it the day before, just have the media, cover it, film it, have it for all the media coverage. They also could do something early in the morning because on opening day, that is the only day in terms of once this park is open that there is not going to be early entry for Universal Hotel guests. Typically, Universal Hotel guests are going to get in an hour before Super Nintendo World and part of Celestial Park. So what that could possibly mean is that instead of having early park entry for hotel guests, they may let guests into the park early, if they're lined up and ready to go, and they could have some sort of opening ceremony in the, that early hour before the park actually opens, because I also think they don't want to have a ceremony that impedes on the park hours, because already this park is not going to be open later than I was hoping for, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I don't think they would want to impede on people's ability to really get into the park and really start experiencing it. So they could do some sort of ceremony before the park opens, and that's just basically if you're lined up ready to go, or if you're, you really want to see that, you can see it before the park opens, but then once the park opens, everybody's free to just go into the park and check things out. That may be what they do there. We'll have to wait and see, of course. We don't know for sure, but that would, at least to me, make sense given they don't have early park entry on opening day. That could be something with that. I mean, it'd be really cool if we had an opening day ceremony with, you got the Mario characters out there. Maybe there's been rumors that Chris Pratt might be here, which makes sense. He voiced Mario in the Mario movie. Maybe there's some sort of interaction with that. It would also be really cool if they had the flying dragons as part of this. Like, if you look at the opening day ceremony for Islands of Adventure, that was kind of insane. Like, they had all sorts of stuff going on, like people off of helicopters and acrobatics and things. Like, it was almost a spectacle of sorts. And we've even seen with Universal, like when the Transformer ride opened, they actually had the trucks from the movies and things. So historically speaking, Universal's kind of gone above and beyond a lot of times when new things open. So this new park being this big of a deal, this much anticipation, I think there is some expectation for some sort of pretty legit opening day ceremony. Now, I'm not expecting there to be maybe the spectacle that there was for Islands of Adventure, just because the 90s were awesome. So I don't know if they're going to replicate that. I have a feeling it's going to be much more subdued, not quite over the top, but it would make sense to have some celebrity people talking here and there. Maybe some of the characters come out, maybe some sort of fireworks show, or if they're doing it in the morning, maybe some pyro show with some drones. And I would assume this would be in the morning. I would find it strange if there was an opening day ceremony at night, but I do suppose they could do some sort of special nighttime show on the opening day for it. Since maybe if they're not going to have a nighttime fireworks show to start off in the park, maybe they add that in, which that is the rumor out there, that this park is going to be open later, maybe toward midnight, once they have this new fireworks show that they are potentially working on. So that may be the timeline of this. So they could potentially have some sort of nighttime show just on the opening day here as a special thing for people that are there. Or they could do it in the morning. It's kind of hard to know. I kind of tend to think they would do it in the morning just because if you do it before the park opens, you're not going to impede on anybody's park time. And then they maybe also could do something in the evening as well, maybe some sort of repeat of the show. Maybe they kind of do it in the early morning and, at night before the park closes. I suppose something like that, but it seems either way there is going to be some sort of opening day ceremony, as that has been a question out there. I've kind of wondered that as well, given we're going to be there opening day, and seems like something's going to happen. We're going to get there, try and get there about an hour and a half before the park opens, just because I have no clue how much traffic there's going to be, what to expect from it. Like, it could be potentially a madhouse on opening day of a brand new theme park, because I've never been to opening day of a brand new theme park. So this is all new to me. So trying to allow for as much time as possible, and then hopefully get in. And if there is some sort of opening day ceremony there, we'd be able to take a look at that, get some filming of it. And we are going to, I'm going to vlog opening day to check some stuff out there and try some of that as well. So hopefully be able to have some cool experiences on opening day, as it will be about the third or fourth time we've been at this park. So it's not, again, like this park hasn't been experienced by most people. And if we're being honest, this park is already open. I mean, it's been open multiple months for previews. You've had AP previews for a little bit. Now the general public can buy tickets for the previews. So essentially this park has been and is currently open. It's just not officially open until May 22nd. So a lot of people in that park will have already experienced it, but there are people that are going to be there for the first time, of course. And having been there a couple of times, at least I don't feel as much pressure to try and get as much stuff done because once the park opens at higher park capacity, it's going to be much more crowded. Not going to be near as easy to ride a lot of these attractions as it has been during some of these previews. And either way, though, it's a really cool experience I'm looking forward to. And hopefully it is a cool opening day ceremony. Obviously, these permits show us something's happening here, and the details, I'm sure, are not going to get released. They're not going to show that stuff beforehand. But hopefully something cool. Hopefully a nighttime show that is consistently going on. But if it's just for a special event for opening day, that's okay in the short term, along with longer park operating hours. I want that undoubtedly, but let them crawl before they walk, before they run, I suppose you could say there. But either way, that's all we know about this. But when we do learn more about this, we'll let you know on here. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to the latest going on with Epic Universe and all the theme parks in the area. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about all this? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.